everyone, welcome to iLearning Digital Class. My name is Steven. I want to use this medium to appreciate those that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for taking your time to subscribe to my channel. And if you are watching this video now and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button. Don't forget as well to hit the notification button so that anytime I upload interesting video like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So guys, it's been a while that I've started a tutorial series on this channel. I call it Hospital Management System with Nodejs, Expressjs, JavaScript template engine, and MySQL. We are using MySQL as our database. So guys, this is the part 13 of this video. Wow, this is the part 13 of this video. So I want to appreciate you that have been following me along from the part 1 of this video down to the part 13 of this video. I strongly believe you are learning one or two things from this tutorial. So if you have not yet seen the previous tutorial, please kindly go and watch the previous tutorial on my channel, Hospital Management System. So we are using Nodejs, Expressjs, and JavaScript template engine and MySQL as our database. So guys, without any further ado, what we did in my last video was we were able to create an API for a function whereby that will enable them to keep track of the drug they have installed, so they'll be able to know the date of which the drug is going to expire, the day the drug is being produced and the like. So that was what we did in my last video. So in today's video, so there are two things we want to do. Now the first thing we want to do is that we want the admin to be able to generate slip once they make payments for any employee. So that's what we want to do. We want to be able to generate a payment slip for any employee. So that is what we want to do. And another what we want to do again is we want to be able to create an API whereby we are going to call at our front end if the customer wants to make a complaint, if any patient wants to make a complaint, or they want to give a review pertaining to that hospital. So we want to be able to do that as well. So that is the two things we want to do today. So guys, let's head on to my text editor. Don't forget, I'm using Sublime as my text editor. So as usual, the first thing we have to do is that let me copy this store here. So I'll have to come down here and paste these two things here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to generate payment receipts. So I'm going to have store this URL in this receipt here. So let me come down here and have receipts. So we'll also create this receipt inside this controller folder. So we have to do the same thing for this store here. Let's change this to complaint. Complaint, is it complaint or complaint? Anyone? Okay, let's use complaint. So let's come down here and change this to complaint as well. So then we have to come down to this place again. So let's copy this. We have to create a route here. So let's change this to receipts. Okay, let's change this to receipts, and we have to change the store here to receipt as well. So yeah, we have to change this to complaint, this route to complaint, and we have to change this here to complaint as well, to complaint. Okay, so that's all we need to do. So now let's go inside our controller and quickly create these new files here. So let's create this new file and let's save it to, let's save this as receipt.js. Alright, so let's create another file for our complaint. So let's save this as complaint. Let's save this as complaint.js. Okay, so we've been able to create these two files now inside our controller. So let's quickly write some function here. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to come down to store. I will have to copy these things here. So I'll have to copy this. I've been doing this in my several videos. So if you have been following me from the part 1 of this video, this thing that I'm trying to do will not be new to you, because we have to all the dependencies we've installed, we have to require them inside this receipts.js. So, and what we are trying to do here is that if there is no user, if the user is known, we want to redirect them back to login. So, but if there is a user, then we put next here. That is, we want to allow them to log in and perform any function they want to perform as a user, as a registered user of this hospital management system. All right, guys. So now, having done that, so what we want to do now is that let's quickly say router now. dot get, okay, router dot get, then we have this / here. So as usual, we have our function here. Then don't forget what we need to pass. We need to pass request and we need to pass response. So then the next thing we have to do again is that we want to have db.get all employee. So I have created this get employee inside my DB controller. Let me search for it. Okay, let me search for it. Okay, let me just come here to copy. Okay, let me copy this get all employee. So I want to show you that we've already created this get employee module, as you can see now, inside our DB controller. So we don't need to create it again. So what we want to do now is that we want to get all the details of the employee. Are you getting it now? We want to get all the employees. So it is their details that we will now use to generate a receipt payment of their salary for them. I think you get what I'm trying to explain that there. All right, so now let's come back to receipts here. Okay, I want to say db.get, let me close this search here. db.get employee, then we have function here. Okay, we have function here, then we have to pass two things there, error, and we need to pass results here as well. So then down there we want to render something. What do we want to render? We want to render salary.ejs, salary.ejs. So that was what we want to render. Then we are going to have employee here. Then we'll set it to results here. So that's all what we need to do there. So the next thing we now want to do is that we want to okay, we want to be able to, we've been able to get all the details of the employee. So the next thing we want to do now is that we want to get the specific details of each of those employees. So that is what we want to do. So once we get their details, it is these details that we will now use to generate the receipt payment. All right, I think you get that simple explanation there. So the next thing I want to do now is let me bring this down. So we're gonna say that router.get, okay, router.get. Then what is the route now? We want to say generate. Let's say generate slip. Okay, let's say generate slip because we want to generate a payment slip. Generate slip. Then we have to pass ID. Don't forget, we need to pass ID because we want to get you know, the specific employee details. So that's why we need to pass ID here. So okay, we're going to say function now. Then we need to pass our request and we need to pass our response as parameter. So then we'll come down here. Then we need to get the ID. Don't forget what we used to get our ID. We say request.params, okay, .id. So that's what we need to. Oh, let me change this to request. Okay. That's what we need to do to get our ID. Then we want to say db.getEmployee. Don't forget, I've created that as well in my controller. Get employee by ID. Let me see. Okay, get employee by ID. Okay, beautiful. So then we passed ID here. Then we have our function here as well. Okay. So inside this function, then we need to pass error. Then we need to pass results. Okay. So then we need to say variable name. Okay, variable name is equals to results. Okay, then we'll pass the 0 here. So dot name. Okay, and then we need to come down here. Okay, so let me copy this here because we need to get the name, we want to get the ID, we want to get the email, the role, the salary, and the join date and their contact details. So this is what we are now going to use to generate the payment slip. All right, so now let me quickly do that here. So I'll change this from name to ID. Okay, so I will change this to ID as well. Okay, so let me come down and paste this. So I'll change this to email because we need to get the email of each of these employee. So we change this to email as well. So let me come down here and paste this. So here we need to change this to role because we want to get their role. Maybe it's so this particular employee is a cleaner, is a doctor, is a pharmacy, you know, depending on the role we assign for them. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to get their salary now. We want to get the salary. Okay, what's the salary? Okay, instead of me doing this all over, let me just paste. So let me change this to salary now. Salary, then I change this name to salary as well. Okay, so then let me come down here. So the join dates, the dates they join the hospital now, the day they were employed. So the join dates. So let's change this to join date as well. Okay, so let me come down here. So I need to the contact now. Okay, the contacts. So let's change this to contacts from here. Contacts. Okay, so let's change this as well to contacts. Okay, so then that's all we need to do. So the next thing we now want to do is that we want to render the payslip. It is this payslip that we will now generate. So they can now download this payslip, or I mean, they can save it as PDF or do anything they want to do with the payslip. So okay, you can now say residence render now. So what do we want to render? We want to render payslip.ejs, payslip.ejs. All right. So and then we need to pass name. Okay, we need to pass name. All right. So we need to pass ID. We need to pass ID. We need to pass email as well. Okay, email. The next thing again is the role. Okay, let's set this to role. Another thing again we need to do is the salary now. The salary. Okay, salary. Then the next thing we want to do is the join dates. Join dates. Okay, to join dates. Okay, then the last one is the contacts now. Contacts. Come on, contacts. Okay, so contact. So this is all what we need to do to be able to generate a slip. You see, it's not a the code, the line of code is, they are not much anyway. So this is all just what we need to write to be able to generate the payment slip for any of this employee. So we've been able to do this now. All right, so let's save. So the next thing we want to do now is we want to create the complaint. So I think this complaint is a little bit lengthy, but we have to create it as well. So what we have to do now to make this, because of our time, and to make we writing our code to be more faster. So let's just come here and copy this from here. Okay, let's copy this and go to complaint and paste this here as well. So that's all we need to do there. So the next thing we have to do now is that we need to we need to come down here and say router now .get. Okay, router.get. Then let's have this here. We're gonna say function now. We're gonna say function, and we're gonna pass request here and pass response there as parameter. Okay, so then we're gonna say that's res.render now. Then we pass what we want to render. We want to render complaint.ejs. So that's what we want to render. Anytime we visit this URL, anytime we visit this URL, what we want to get is what we want to render is the complaint.ejs at the front end. So then the next thing we want to do now is that we want to create for the post. We want to be able to do that for post. If you want to post a complaint, we want to be able to do that, and we've been able to get the complaint here. So the next thing if you want to post a complaint now, so I'm gonna say router.posts. Okay, then we pass function here. Let's say function. All right. So let's say function. Then we say request. Then we'll pass response here. All right. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to say variable message. That is, what is the message this particular person wants to send. So we're gonna get to say request.body. Okay, we need to get this message. Request.body message. All right. So okay, then what's the next thing? If you want to get the name of this person trying to send this complaint to us or feedback, okay, we're gonna say request.body now .name. Okay, so then the next thing we want to do is to get the email. I'm gonna say this goes to request.body.email. Okay, so then the last one is the subject. I mean, you must tell us what's the subject of the message or their complaint they're trying to pass across to us. We're gonna say request.body. Okay, dot body, then you're gonna say dot subjects. Okay, dot subjects. So and then we need to come down and say db, okay, dot posts, db dot post complaint. So we need to quickly go inside our doc controller to create this module. Okay, we're gonna say message now. We need to pass message. We need to pass name. Okay, we need to pass email. We need to pass, come on, email. Sorry for this. I have to clear this. Okay, so email. Then we need to pass the subject now. So then we have to have a function now that will handle all this for us. So once a function, then we have error, then we have results. Okay. So then what's the next thing we want to do now? We want to redirect. Once you are able to post this, we want to redirect them back. So that's what we want to do. We're going to say rest.redirect. Okay. So we want to redirect them back. Okay. All right. So this is all what we need to do. Okay. We didn't do something here. We need to export. Do we? No. So that we're not going to have issues. We need to export our router now. Let's say module.export. Export is equals to router. Okay. So let me copy this from here and do the same thing too inside our complaint.js. Okay, let me paste this. We need to export our router. So the only thing we now have to do is that we need to create this module inside our doc controller. So we need to create this post complaint and create get complaint. So let's move inside our DB controller. So inside our DB controller rather. So now let's come down here and we just need to create this module. Okay, let's say module now dot exports dot post complaint. All right. So which is equals to function. Then don't forget we need to pass message. We need to pass name. We need to pass email. We need to pass subjects. Okay, we need to pass subjects and we need to pass the callback. Yeah, all right. So then we have to come down here. We're gonna say variable now, query. We need to insert all these things inside our database. So we're gonna say insert. Okay, insert into complaint. All right, complaint is a table inside our database. Insert into complaint. So what do we want to insert? We want to insert message. We want to insert message. We want to insert name. We want to insert email. We want to insert subjects. Okay, we want to insert them. So what are the values we want to pass now? The values. Okay, so the values is we have to come here and add this plus sign and say message and add this plus sign. As usual, I'll just have to copy all of this for the sake of time so that I will not just do the typing. Okay, so let me come here and paste. So we need to get the name. Let's change this message to name. So let's come down here and change this to email. We need to change this to email. So the next thing we have to do now is we need to change this to subjects as well. So let's change this to subjects. So this is all what we need to subjects. Okay, so this is all what we need to do to save inside our database. So all these things we successfully need to we save inside our database, all these details, message, name, and I think you know where we are getting this from. I've been explaining this in several videos, so this shouldn't be new to you. Where we are getting all these values, message, name, email. Okay, let me show you again. We are getting them from this place. As you can see, this is the message, name, email, subject. We are passing it inside this module, inside this post complaint. So it is post complaint that is helping us to undo it. That is why we call it DB controller. It's the one controlling the details we are getting at our front end and save it inside our database. All right. So now let's do something. We need to connect to our database. Let's say con now dot query. Okay, con dot query. Then we'll pass query here. Then we'll pass callback here. All right. So that's all we need to. Let me bring this down so that you're able to see what I'm trying to do. Okay, so this is what we need to do to connect to our database. Okay, So we have to come down here. Then the last thing we have to do is to create the module for get complaint. Okay, so we're gonna say get complaint, then it's equals to function. Then we have to just pass only callback here as parameter. So then we're gonna say that variable query is equals to, we want to select all now because we want to get everything inside our complaint table. So we're gonna say that from complaint, then we have to, as usual, connect to our database. We're gonna say con.query, then we pass query here. Then we have to say callback here. That's all what we need to do. So guys, we've been able to create the receipts. If the user wants to generate their receipts, or if the admin or anybody wants to generate their receipts, we've been able to create the functions and the API for that. And we've been able as well, if the customer wants to make a complaint, we've been able to create a function for that as well too. So guys, we are moving closer to the end of the series. So I think we have just few things to do. I mean, I don't know yet, but I strongly believe that we have few things to do, maybe 2, 3, 4 videos left for me to upload relating to this project alone. So guys, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. And please, as a payback, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please kindly don't hesitate. Hit the subscribe button. It is free, guys. Please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification button as well, so that anytime I upload interesting videos, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So guys, I will try all what I can to always give you the best on this channel. I will try all what I can. For people that has been requesting for source code, guys, relax. I'm going to release the source code. That is for sure. So at the last video, as I've said, that is when I'm going to drop the source code. So thank you so much for taking your time to watch my video. See you guys in my next video. Thank you.